This is the story of the life of Kathy. Kathy was a very beautiful young lady who had lost both her parents at an early age. Kathy was tall, dark in complexion. She had long black hair. She was slim, with the most mesmerizing big hazel brown eyes. Kathy had been living with her uncle, who was married but did not have any kids. So, he and his wife raised Kathy from the day her parents passed away. Kathy was such a soft-spoken and hard-working young lady. One day, Kathy's uncle got a visit from his neighbor. The man has brought such interesting news that caught Kathy's uncle attention, who told him,
I am in search to find my son who lived in the city, a beautiful, young, virgin lady who would become his wife. And I thought about your niece, if you won't mind.
The moment Kathy's uncle heard about the word city, without waiting for the man to finish talking, immediately he became very excited about the news. He was so interested about the neighborhood wonderful proposition. He quickly went to inform his beloved wife, who also was excited about the news. In the excitement, they both agreed to the marriage proposition, forgetting to inform Kathy about it. After a few days had passed, Kathy had been sitting with a friend in the backyard when her aunt called her. She had something very important to tell her. Kathy's aunt told her about the proposal and pointed out about the glamorous life she will have if she accepts to marry the man from the city. Kathy innocently agreed. She couldn't say no to the elderlies. This is how she was raised. 4 weeks later, the man from the city came. His name was Paul. Paul was a very successful and intelligent businessman. He was wealthy and very influential man, and had a lot of possession and lived very comfortably. He owned 2 big houses in the city, 1 family home in the village, 3 shipment trucks, and 3 cars. Paul was 14 years older than Kathy. He was very intelligent, mature, and a very good-looking man for his age. After arriving to the village, he couldn't contain his excitement to meet Kathy. He had spent only 2 hours talking to his parents about the woman they picked for him. And by their description, he had fallen in love already with his chosen wife-to-be. The time they arrived at Kathy's house, Paul saw Kathy for the first time. And he was very excited to see such a beautiful young lady. With no hesitation, he told his parents to go ahead with the marriage arrangement. Kathy's family were extremely excited to have Paul as their in-law. Only after 1 month, everything had been finalized. Paul and Kathy got married and were officially husband and wife. Then, Kathy started to dream of how her life will be with Paul in the city.
search to find my son who lived in the city, a beautiful, young, virgin lady who would become his wife. And I thought about your niece, if you won't mind.
With a friend in the backyard when her aunt called her. She had something very important to tell her. Kathy's aunt told her about the proposal and pointed out about the glamorous life she will have if she accepts to marry the man from the city. Paul and Kathy got married and were officially husband and wife. Finally, Paul took his wife Kathy to the city, and the new couple were very happy together. Paul was a caring husband and was deeply in love with his dear wife. He had been taking very good care of her, but strangely enough, Paul was very jealous. He couldn't let her be independent or run errands alone, even simple things like going shopping alone or visiting friends and family. She either had to be with Paul himself or with a personal driver. Kathy was now a full-time housewife. 9 months had gone by, and Paul started to get pressure from his family for not hearing any news about his wife being pregnant. Paul impatiently wanted a child too. He then decided to go see the doctor, together with his wife, for some medical test.
My love, listen, I think it's time to go see a doctor. It's the only way we can solve this situation.
Kathy agreed. They then went to a closed hospital next to their house. After doing all the tests, no problem was detected from him or from his wife. They waited, and some more months went by. Still nothing was happening, and the situation was still the same. Paul, with all the money he had, he wanted to get a second opinion and went to visit the most expensive private doctor in town for more tests. They were prescribed some multivitamins and were asked to change the diet and add other things to the menu with hope there will be a change. Still, Kathy couldn't conceive.
My love, listen, I think it's time to go see a doctor. It's the only way we can solve this situation.
They were prescribed some multivitamins and were asked to change the diet and add other things to the menu with hope there will be a change. Still, Kathy couldn't conceive. After 3 years, Paul became more impatient. He was getting old, and he desperately wanted to have a child. He then decided to find himself a woman out of his marriage. Only after 3 months of having an affair with another woman, the woman became pregnant. Paul was extremely excited that he would finally be a dad. He then called to inform all his family members. His parents left the village to come meet with the woman who was pregnant with their grandchild. The moment they arrived at Paul's house and found the woman who welcomed them with her stomach started to show there were a small person in. Both parents began to feel hate towards Kathy. They then started to put pressure on Paul to let Kathy go out of the house so that a new woman who's pregnant can move in and replace her. With all the hate, Paul also started to develop hate towards Kathy. He decided to let her go out of the house without giving her anything. Kathy cried and started to beg her husband.
Please, please, Paul, please. Please feel pity for me. You know you are the only family that I am. Please, I'm begging you. Do not leave me at this moment. I really need you next to me, please.
My love, listen, I think it's time to go see a doctor. It's the only way we can solve this situation.
They were prescribed some multivitamins and were asked to change the diet and add other things to the menu with hope there will be a change. Still, Kathy couldn't conceive. After 3 years, Paul became more impatient. He was getting old and he desperately wanted to have a child. He then decided to find himself a woman out of his marriage. Only after 3 months of having an affair with another woman, the woman became pregnant. Paul was extremely excited that he would finally be a dad. He then called to inform all his family members. His parents left the village to come meet with the woman who was pregnant with their grandchild. The moment they arrived at Paul's house and found the woman who welcomed them with her stomach started to show there were a small person in. Both parents began to feel hate towards Kathy. They then started to put pressure on Paul to let Kathy go out of the house so that the new woman who's pregnant can move in and replace her. With all the hate, Paul also started to develop hate towards Kathy. He decided to let her go out of the house without giving her anything. Kathy cried and started to beg her husband.
Please, please, Paul, please. Please feel pity for me. You know you are the only family that I have. Please, I'm begging you. Do not leave me at this moment. I really need you next to me, please.
Family members. His parents left the village to come meet with the woman who was pregnant with their grandchild. Heartless. After he threw Kathy out, he immediately replaced her with a new woman and gave her everything she desired. Kathy had nowhere else to go, since she didn't know the city well, and she never had friends except the church she used to go. She went to seek refuge at church and met with the pastor. She explained everything to the pastor and the other authorities. They all went to see Paul to discuss the issue, but Paul totally refused to listen to them. He even threw water on them. All the church members felt bad about what was happening to Kathy. The pastor decided to offer her accommodation into the church. Kathy started to live inside the church, depending on the church members to support her with toiletries and food. A month later, Sister Mary, who was also one of the church members, she was planning to open a new boutique, and she wanted someone she can trust to be in charge of her new boutique, since she had other businesses she was running. She then thought of Kathy. The pastor was aware of the idea Sister Mary had. He encouraged her to give the opportunity to Kathy. He shook his hand to Sister Mary and he said,
I'm so glad that you are thinking about the young girl. May God see your generosity and bless you.
Heartless. After he threw Kathy out, he immediately replaced her with a new woman and gave her everything she desired. A month later, Sister Mary, who was also one of the church members, she was planning to open a new boutique, and she wanted someone she can trust to be in charge of her new boutique, since she had other businesses she was running. She then thought of Kathy. Kathy was very happy. Thank you so much, Sister Mary. If you don't mind, I can also help you with contacting suppliers and other few things, she said. She started helping Sister Mary with the arrangement each and every day. They were out for planning about the opening of the boutique. The business finally started. Kathy was doing a great job, doing good sales, and Sister Mary was very happy. She then decided to take Kathy to go live with her in her family home. Listen, Kathy, I'm very impressed the way you are running my business. I don't want to feel like I'm a boss to you. I want you to be like a sister to me. Come live with me in my house. At least you can have a place to call home. Sister Mary was married with 7 small kids. She had a very busy life. Her husband was not always around. Early morning, before going to the boutique, she will first prepare all the 7 kids for school. Kathy started to take care of the house, bathed them all, making the breakfast, preparing the lunches, cleaning the whole house, make sure everything was in order, then leave for work. It became her everyday routine, and she was feeling happy with her new life. Free accommodation, free food, and a reasonable salary that was helping her to take a very good care of herself. Months later, she became known around the city. All men wanted her, and the church members started to call her. The new Kathy. Look, there she is. Is she the same lady who was living at the church? Are you sure? It is her. No, this is the new Kathy. Sister Mary. She then decided to take her younger brother to live with them because her husband were not always around, to make them feel safe having a presence of a man in the house. When her brother arrived and see Kathy, he had a crush on her and started to go after her every time of the day. Kathy was doing a great job, doing good sales, and Sister Mary was very happy. She then decided to take Kathy to go live with her in her family home. Sister Mary. She then decided to take her younger brother to live with them because her husband were not always around, to make them feel safe having a presence of a man in the house. Kathy started to feel uncomfortable around him. She then told Sister Mary about it. Sister Mary was very unhappy. She then decided to chase her brother in her house without giving him a chance to explain himself. She trusted and loved Kathy a lot. She did not want something to happen to her. Around the area and the whole church, everybody was curious on how more beautiful Kathy was. Men started to attend church service every Sunday to meet with Kathy. Some of the men at church was going through the pastor to ask for a permission to date her. No man could resist Kathy's beauty. Still, Kathy didn't accept any of them. One day, on her way home, after spending the whole day working in a boutique, she met her ex-husband, Paul. "Good day, my wife," he flattered her. "I was busy looking for you everywhere. Thank God someone told me where I can find you. And I was on my way to see you." Kathy was very surprised and took time to listen to him. "You cannot imagine how much I miss you," Paul said. "I still love you, and if we can fix everything, we can still get back together since we never divorced." Very innocent, Kathy was still in love with her husband. She didn't take a time to think about it. She got very excited. After that day, they started to see each other again secretly, without no one knowing, not even the pastor or Sister Mary. They were seeing each other almost every day. Only 6 weeks later, Kathy started to feel weak, waking up late. Sometimes she couldn't manage the shop. Sister Mary started to notice some change with Kathy's behavior. She then approached her and asked, "What is wrong, Kathy? You look strange all these days. Is there any way I can help?" Kathy asked Sister Mary to take her to go see the doctor, since she didn't know what was wrong with her. And they then went to the hospital to check on her. Hours later, they received the result finding out that she was already 4 weeks pregnant. Very shocked they both were. Sister Mary started to question Kathy about her pregnancy. Kathy cried, and cried. She told Sister Mary about everything she was doing with Paul secretly. On her way home, after spending the whole day working in a boutique, she met her ex-husband, Paul. "Good day, my wife," he flattered her. "I was busy looking for you everywhere. Thank God someone told me where I can find you. And I was on my way to see you." They received the result finding out that she was already 4 weeks pregnant. Very shocked they both were. Her. Sister Mary tuned. They quietly left Paul's house together with Kathy, who couldn't say anything. "Good day. How can I help you?" Paul greeted them. He didn't allow them in the house, avoiding his new wife to get involved. While Sister Mary explaining on behalf of Kathy, Paul denied the allegation and blamed it all on Sister way. Small business, alone in the hospital with no one else to assist besides the nurses. 7 hours later, it was a time for her to welcome a beautiful
Louise finally paid everything Kathy owed the hospital.
Thank you so much, Sister Louise. I don't know what could have happened to us if you were not here. Now I have sorted out the hospital bills. Let me give you a lift on my way home. You need to go home to take care of the baby. Ashu. Sorry. Feeling bad to tell you I don't have a place to go. I was unable to pay my rent. The landlord decided to kick me out. So you see, but it's okay. You've done a lot already. I will figure out what to do. You know what, Kathy? Let me ask the hospital if they can allow you to stay just for a night. I'll be back to get you. Give me 24 hours. Please take care. Bye. I never imagined Kathy's life would turn so bad. She was so happy in her marriage. Oh well. Only God knows what the future holds. Let me go see Sister Marie, so we can help Kathy and her newborn baby. Anybody home? Yes, coming. Hi Sis Marie. Hi Louise. What's a surprise to see you. Please come in.
Hi Louise, nice to see you.
Hi, likewise. It's nice to see you guys too.
I will leave you two ladies to catch up. I'll be at the back, Marie.
I'm coming straight from the hospital, and decided to come and see you. Hospital. Hope you okay. Yes. It's not about me. It's about Kathy. Kathy. Okay, what about her? Is she okay? I met her in the hospital and she told me everything that had happened to her. Please Marie. Try to help her if you can. She is in a difficult situation. She gave birth 2 weeks ago and the hospital kept her there, because she is unable to pay the hospital bills. I paid her hospital bills but now, she doesn't have a place to go to. She gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. As you know, I'm not always around. So it's difficult for me to accommodate her. Please give her a second chance. Let me discuss this with my husband, then tomorrow morning you can come take us there. Okay. Sister Marie will do that. Let me get going now.
Early morning, Sister Louise and Sister Marie went to see Kathy in the hospital.
Hi Kathy. Sister Marie. Sister Marie. We've been thinking a lot about you. Louise told my husband and I what happened to you after you gave birth. And we decided to take you home with us. Thank you so much, Sister Louise. You too, Sister Marie, for opening your kind heart towards me and my baby. Please forgive me for everything I did in your house. Please. It's okay, Kathy. We already have forgiven you. Get the baby, so we can go.
Sister Marie's husband called Paul over the phone to give him the good news that Kathy gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Let me call Paul, so I can give him the good news about Kathy's birth. Hope this news changes things for the better, but oh well. My wife, I'm going to put Paul on loudspeaker, so you can also hear our conversation. Is that okay?
Yes, honey, that's okay.
Jack calling. I wonder what the call is about. Let me hear what he has to say. Hello, yes, hello.
Paul. Hello, good morning. It's Jack here. How you doing?
I'm all good, Mr. Jack. How about you?
We're all good, thanks. Listen, Paul. I called to let you know that we're here with Kathy. She gave birth to a baby girl 2 weeks ago. It will be better if you can come over to see your baby.
I think I told you the last time you came to my house that I'm not responsible for Kathy's pregnancy. There is no need for me to come over and see them.
Listen, Paul. There is no need to play innocent anymore. Your baby looks exactly like you. She even have a birthmark on her neck, just like you. Can you then go for a DNA test, just to confirm if the baby is yours or not?
There is no need to do that, Mr. Jack. With all due respect, sir, please don't call me anymore with regards of Kathy's situation. All I know, I'm not responsible. You can take me to court if you want to. Please do me a favor, Mr. Jack. Do not call this number anymore. I'm done. Goodbye, sir. Shh.
3 months later, Sister Marie and her family going for a family trip. Please, Kathy, we are counting on you to look after the house. Take good care of you and Cecilia. We will be back in 2 weeks. I hope my wife left everything you need for Cecilia.
Yes, Uncle. She brought everything for the house too. I promise. I'll look after the house. Safe trip.
Are you ready for the trip, my love?
Yes, my love. I'm ready. I don't understand what taking these kids so long. I told them just to pack a few clothes, but look now. They want to pack a lot of clothes for the trip. Kids, come on, let's go. We're just waiting for you guys. These kids. Shoo.
My love, just go and call your kids. Otherwise, we will be waiting for them here forever.
Okay, love. Coming.
What's taking you so long?
Sorry, Dad. We were still packing.
Where's your brother? He's still not yet here. And time's going? Oh, there, they are coming. Finally, we can get going. Ernesto, you took forever just to pack. Let us get going now. Ernesto, just move on this side so your sister can join you. Sit at the back. Joyce, join your brother at the back seat. Your mom seating here in front.
Okay, Dad.
Let me move aside for Joyce before she come and claim the whole seat as she always does.
Move more, Ernesto. You taking the whole seat.
Guys, can you two stop fighting at the back there? I can't wait to be in a new area forgetting all about work and the new boss stress.
Days are moving fast, my love. You will face him indeed. Anyway, it's a good idea. Taking a break and going for a holiday. After all the challenge you are facing at your workplace, you can now clear your mind. Plus, the kids finally will spend time with you.
That's true, my love. This accident occurred. Both Marie, Jack and their children died immediately. And few hours later, the bad news immediately spread to
Sorry
Kathy's
for your
ears.
loss. Doctor.
The reception informed me that you are the relatives of the patients that was brought here early. It was a big tragedy.
Doctor, Can I see them? Why? Why, Sister Marie? Why? You got too soon.
After the burial ceremony, Sister Marie family decided to sell all the properties she had.
Kathy, you have been staying with our Sister Marie for years. We know all and we are aware of the strong relationship you had with her. As her family, we decided to sell this house and everything that our sister had. We will give you 2 to 3 months to find yourself a place to stay. I hope you will respect our decision that we made.
Yes, Kathy. That's the decision we as a family decide to do. We just wish you all the best for the future. You and your daughter.
Yes, Auntie. Uncle, I understand. There is no need for me to remain here anymore. I respect your decision. Before the due date, I will make sure to find myself a suitable place to stay. Thank you for giving me time to prepare myself.
It's okay, Kathy. We all going through a rough time at the moment. All we can do now is just to move on with our lives.
3 months later.
What can we do now? I think you must leave me to handle everything. She promised to find herself another place to go. We gave her 3 months and her time is up. It's now another 2 weeks. She is still there. I think, brother, you've been too soft to her. She start taking advantage of your personality. Tomorrow morning, I have to go there myself with my boys. In case she resists to move out, there is no need for you to come along with me. You are too soft towards that girl. I will sort things out with her.
Okay, but no need to be violence. Just speak to her calmly. And just keep me posted.
Oh, good morning, Aunt.
Morning, Kathy. I hope you already packed everything. I'm here to collect the keys. We have people who already brought this house. They coming in the city in few days. The house need to be empty from now on. My boys are standing outside in case you need help with your belongings. This house need a deep cleaning.
Sorry, Auntie. I didn't get myself a place yet. Nobody want to accommodate me because I have a baby. I don't have any capital with me. If you can at least give me few more days, I promise I will leave.
No, Kathy. I have no choice than to get you go by now on. My boys are outside, don't make things hard. You will leave me with no choice.
Where I'm gonna go, Auntie? I have no place to go. Please don't do this to my baby and I.
I heard about your story and I'm sorry. I really wished I could help you and your baby. Unfortunately, the church cannot accommodate you either. The owner of the place sold the whole building. We must leave this place as soon as possible. The church only find a small space. It cannot accommodate more than 50 people, and there is no extra rooms there, beside my office, but I can assist you with baby items in case you need.
Okay, Pastor. I understand. This was the only place that came in my mind. As you know, I don't have any family. Sister Marie was the only family that I had in the city. It's okay. I have to be positive. Goodbye, Pastor. I feel hopeless. God has taken Sister Marie away from me. She was the only person who considered me as her real family. Sister Louise too, but I don't know where to look for her. The church were the only place that I thought of getting help. I love my daughter, she is the only family that I have. But I'm not able to give her a better life she deserves. Maybe if I give her to a good orphanage, she will meet a family that will love her and give her a better life that I'm not able to give her. I think it's the only option. And I believe one day, if things get better for me, we will see each other again. I promise I won't forget her, no matter what.
Yes, hello. Oh, okay, send her up.
Hi, sister.
Hi, young girl. I heard you wanted to see me. How can I help you?
Yes, I'm in a situation which is above my strength. I would like to give my daughter for adoption.
You said a daughter. Wow, this is wonderful. We were looking for a baby girl. We have good couple that applied already 5 months ago. We were in need of a girl. Please give me some time to get you in our interview room. Once you pass the interview, then we will call you in few days to come and fill up some forms. Please follow me.
1 week later, Kathy finally gave her daughter Cecilia for adoption. The new family paid her certain amount of money, which she organized herself, then left the country for UK with hope of getting a better life. Once arrived in the UK, things were not the way she dreamed of UK. Kathy had no other option than to change her way of living life. Kathy finally got a waitressing job in UK. She got herself an apartment in the city center, and she started to take a good care of herself. Her life changed as she became exposed to different types of men that were coming to the restaurant where she was working, buying fancy clothing, expensive jewelry, designer handbags, and a beautiful car. All on her was about living a fancy life. She does everything to keep her new lifestyle. One day during Kathy's shift in a restaurant, a good-looking man came for lunch. His name was Sandro. Sandro was handsome, a Spanish guy, tall, black hair with dimples, and has a nice voice.
Hi, what can I offer you?
Me not English. Espanol only.
Oh, habla español? ¿Que le gustaría tomar?
Kathy tried to communicate in Spanish as she always heard people saying on her favorite show. Sandro was impressed seeing her trying to communicate in Spanish. He got attracted by Kathy's generosity and confident without hesitated. He immediately asked Kathy out for a drink.
It was a pleasure going to dinner with you. Thank you so much for giving me such a good time. You have my number, you can contact me anytime.
Same. I'm also happy. 9 months later, Sandro and Kathy finally got married, and were living a happy life. After enjoying their marriage lives, they then decided to have a baby sadly. The doctor informed Sandro that he was not able to become a father, due to an accident he had before. After arriving home, Sandro suggested if they can adopt the child. Kathy told him about Cecilia. They decided to travel back to where Kathy left her baby girl Cecilia.
Hi sir, sorry to bother you. We are looking for the Tree Avenue number 8, is this the right place?
Yes, ma'am. This is the Tree Avenue. Are you looking for someone?
Yes, no. Actually yes. I'm looking for an orphanage. I don't know if I'm in the right place. I don't remember seeing this new building the last time I was here. The place looks strange to me.
You say you were looking for an orphanage. This place is a church, madam. Yes, madam. It used to be an orphanage before the accident. There were fire in that place. Everything was burned up. Many people lost their lives, including children. The accident was not good at all. We heard only 25 people survived. And that 25 children were only 8. Such a pain lost.
It's okay, don't cry. It's okay. She's maybe one of the survivors. Let's look for a way. We can find out more about what really happened. We can go to the police nearby. They can identify the victim's identity. Cecilia can still be alive.